using strong words and calling on U.S. lawmakers to ban all forms of cloning. He wants to include somatic cell nuclear transfer. That's the method that was used to make Dolly the sheep and other animal clones. Still, the scientific and ethical implications of cloning are the subject of much debate. Joining us now from the U.S. state of Kentucky is Dr. Panagiotis Zavos. He is the director of the Andrology Institute of America and a proponent of human cloning. We heard the president say there very clearly, it is unethical. You are using one life to improve, prolong, change the life of someone else. What is your response to the president's call, that it's flatly unethical?
Well, obviously, George is entitled to his opinion, and I think that there's a diversity of opinions on the ethical issues here. I think that living 24 years ago and seeing Louise Brown born, that was unethical for Louise Brown to be born, the first IVF baby 24 years ago. And today, IVF is as good as sliced bread, as we say in the U.S. Therefore, you know, I do respect what the president is saying. But I think the president must look beyond the borders of America and must look in the world in totality and understand that there is a demand for this technology. We're seeing the floating of the first human clone embryos in China and the U.S. and maybe elsewhere. There's rumors that there is a pregnant woman, 8 weeks old, with a clone embryo. And therefore, as we said before, and we're saying that again, this genie is out of a bottle, and we must deal with it. And banning it is not going to solve the problem.
All right, but there are significant medical sources that are saying that mothers and children are going to be subject to substantial risks as these early stages of cloning may go ahead, whether it's in the U.S. or outside of the U.S. Do you agree with that? Will there be some horror stories coming out of this?
No, horror stories there will not be. Those women and those pregnancies will be monitored by professionals. And trust me, in the human arena, we do know what we're doing. And unfortunately, the dolly manufacturers and others have created a horror story that they think is going to translate into humans, and that's an absolute tragedy, and they should never really appear on your show or mine or whatever, and allow them to speak on behalf of sheep and goats and what have you, and saying that those same problems are going to appear in humans. We just don't do it that way in the humans.
I don't know you, but I have a hard time believing anyone, whatever the claims may be, can at this stage in medical science and cloning science so confidently say that we're on top of the situation with human cloning. There won't be any mistakes. Or do you mean that you will abort, you will kill your mistakes?
Well listen, abortion is a legal maneuver in the U.S. It's a legal medical procedure.
So that's what you're talking about. You say that we won't see any horror stories because you will...
The life of anybody, even if it's an IVF pregnancy or a natural pregnancy, abortion is legal in the U.S. and can be done to correct a mistake. And therefore, you know, we're not ruling that out, but obviously it's an option it's a medical option that people should consider.
The American public is not with you. They overwhelmingly do not want to see any human cloning. Why are they wrong?
Well, I'm not saying that they're wrong. I'm saying that they're misinformed. I think that we have shown that to various audiences that I spoke to, that people were opposed to, including Oxford Union, that I debated the issue with the British, where obviously I was able to change 30% of people's opinions at Oxford Union after a 15-minute speech, up to 30%. So this is evidence that even the British Medical Association is saying that people are opposed because of fear. And I think the fear comes from fiction and from the Hollywood stars and the Hollywood shows that are out there about cloning. Cloning is a technology that can make life better for a lot of people. Not for everybody. This is not for everybody. This is for a few that have need for it. Just as much as our transplantation is unique and can save lives, but it cannot save your life and mine because we don't need it.
All right. Dr. Panagiotis Zavos, our thanks to you for being with us. The debate, I am sure, will rage on.